Hang on.
Oh, why? Every time. Every time we go live, you need to play. You can't blow your nose before we go live.
I've blown it, but I haven't quite finished. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to our Sunday live. Not an auction this week. That was last week. Thanks to everybody who took part. Went really well. Oh, I was going to grab the piggy bank. Oh, it's here.
What are we doing? We're going back to the beginning, so we can.
Yeah, we can say a few hellos.
Damien was first in, and I know he definitely was because he said he was.
Ooh. Good evening, and good evening to Steve. Peter's in. Secret Carper, hello, good to see you. RS. What's that? Cooking at the moment, burger and chips. Very nice. We've just finished a big pasta meal.
Yeah, it was good.
Feeling stuffed. Hello, Anne. Good to see you. And Nia is with us. Phil, Mark.
Jeff in the background.
Just having a moment. What are you doing? Jeff.
He's rolling around in his bed.
Ay. Yes, good to see you all. It's a bit of everything today. We've got some gifts to open.
Exciting.
A couple of other thank yous to do, and then I'm going to share some pickups. We were in Norwich yesterday. Yesterday. We were there for another reason, but of course, when you're in a city, there's charity shops. We rummaged, and I found some pretty good stuff.
I didn't buy anything.
Nothing.
I bought nothing yesterday. There's a couple of things I thought about, but they're a bit big, so I couldn't bother to carry them around with me. Well,
we did find Mexican Train, which is a domino game. Don't know if you know it, but it weighs like nearly 3 kilos. There's I don't know, 100 dominoes in it.
It's really heavy.
And we thought, but we should have bought it because it sells for 25, 30 quid.
We went back just on the way back to the bus because we did the park and ride, but it was shut. So that was annoying.
Yeah, but if I'd have bought it, I'd have only moaned the whole day.
I did see a really nice. Sorry, that spoke over you.
No, I said I would have moaned if we had bought it.
Oh yeah.
About
and I was going to say I saw like a flower container, like a 1980s. He wants to come up. A 1980s flower container glass one. Like sort of milk glass, and it was really nice. It's only £2.49, but again, I would have had to have carried it around with me, and it was really heavy. It's only BD. Come here. Come say hello to me.
Right, I'm going to scroll down to the end. Yes, Maggie. Happy Mother's Day. I need to ring my mum. Haven't done it yet. You've done yours.
I've said it several times today, but perhaps it's because I've said it. You've thought, no, I'm not going to do it because you told me to.
Yeah, don't tell me.
Buggeroo.
You've just spilt tea all over your phone. Panic stations.
How
did you manage that?
And on the thing on my gift. Oh dear. It's because I was trying to move it away from Jeff, and I've ended up.
Don't forget that. Dry your phone. Right. Bear with us while we have a miniature disaster. What are you like?
Oh, dearie me.
Right, while Andrea sorts that out, I will scroll to the end.
It's not actually wet, it was just the case.
Just the case, is it? You haven't ruined your phone?
No, it's fine.
The reason we went to Norwich yesterday was I wanted a new phone. I needed a new phone.
Could you pass me the...
And we achieved
tissues,
that.
please?
And now you may have killed yours.
No, I haven't. It's absolutely fine. I have spilt it all over my gift, though.
Oh, well, that should be okay. That's not going to ruin that, is it?
Hope not. Right,
let me get to the end of the chat. Good evening, all sorts of people. Kate and Ian, Charlotte. Whiz. Chris is in. Revived Collections. Hello. Just trying to get to the end.
Okay, let's try again, Jeff. Yeah.
Steve What? Not going to be saying much tonight. I'm watching on my phone and drove a wood screw into my thumb yesterday.
Ow. Oh,
Don't do that.
Oh, that makes my spilling tea seem much better.
I injured myself once.
I can leave my hand back. Thank you.
I was screwing a screw into some wood, and I was holding the screw in place. And when I applied the pressure, the screw went from underneath it, and I forced the drill bit through my finger.
I remember that, and he had to lie down on the floor.
What? There was blood squirting out everywhere. I don't do well with that.
And I went to the shop to get you chocolate because I thought you were going to pass out.
Yeah, I can't cope with lots of blood. My own blood.
Hello, yes, hello.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that sounds nasty, Steve. Don't like it. Oof. Took my wife out for Mother's Day as one son in Thailand, the other in Newcastle. We were in there 47 minutes and total cost was £47. Pound a minute.
Oh.
It's not cheap.
No.
Yes, good evening, Stephen. Lots of people saying hello. Andrea's in. Hi, Sharon.
There we go. Is that better? No.
Wow. Let's see if we can get to the end of this chat and then we'll start sharing stuff. Have you sorted out your disaster?
He can smell his. We might have to. Yeah. Jeff's got a present too and he can smell it.
Exactly how I did it, Nick. Worst bit was putting the impact driver in reverse to take the screw back out.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Right, okay. I'm at the end.
We might have to start with Jeff's gift because he can smell it and he's trying to get in it.
Right. Our lovely friends Cliff and Sarah. We've met Cliff. We are yet to meet Sarah. Sent us some Easter things. We've opened Jeff's and he now Right. So what did you get? You got some rewards variety. Ooh. Oh, these are all the same in here, aren't they? You want one?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hang on.
Oh,
He'll want to run off
that is
now.
off.
We'll hide in the corner and eat that. And then what else? Yeah, do you want to grab that?
And more of the same.
Oh, they're all the same ones?
Yeah.
They're different flavours then or something?
Yes, so thank you.
Oh, beef, chicken and lamb. And, oh no, they're all beef, chicken and lamb. They smell good.
Oh.
I might try one of them. Are you in, Cliff? Say hi if you're in. And then you have...
Did you vlog your Scotland trip? We did not, I'm afraid. We decided at the last minute that we just weren't going to do it.
We had intentions to, and then it was so... There was a lot going on. And
So-
we didn't have a lot of headspace.
We just wanted to relax and enjoy ourselves, really.
Yeah. It's a shame because, yeah, it would have been a cool video. And Edinburgh was amazing. We went there only briefly, but that was one of the highlights of the trip. Okay. There, Cliff, we've just given Jeff a couple of his treats.
We haven't opened ours yet. So I've got one as well. Thank you, Cliff and Sarah.
All right.
Am I opening it?
Go for it. Yeah, thanks again, Cliff.
I hope it's not dog treats.
And I got a big box of Void Fill as well, which was awesome.
This looks good. Oh, look at that. Thank you.
3 chocolate bars.
3 whole chocolate bars. Oh, should enjoy that. Thank you very much. Salted caramel, orange, and vanilla. Oh, can I have one of those after when we finished our live. I'll have one of those. That looks
Excellent.
amazing. Thank you so much. No,
Hello.
it's Andrea treats. It is. It's very much Andrea treats. Thank you.
Hello. What's Scotland like? Well, it's gorgeous. It really is.
Yeah. Well, we only really went to the 2 major cities.
Yeah. And Edinburgh is a lot prettier than Glasgow, but Glasgow had its charms for sure.
It did. It had some good charity shops and it was cheaper than Edinburgh.
Yeah. Good to see you, James.
Yeah, we were just watching James before
We were
when we were eating our dinner before
Yeah.
we went live.
buying 40 Furbies and all that. Yeah. Right. I need a knife. Right. So, Tunic, happy Easter.
It's a little bit early for Easter, but you know, never mind.
Did that wrong, didn't I? There we go.
Oh!
No.
Wow.
Seriously?
That's the coolest thing.
This is a Pet Shop Boys Funko Pop. So that must be Chris. Yeah, look, Chris Lowe. So
Oh my goodness.
there's Neil. Oh wow! And it's
How awesome.
so is it actually period? Yeah, it's early period. Look, he's got his suit on.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't even know they did them.
I
for
had
Pet
no
Shop
idea
Boys.
they were doing. Yeah,
That's the most awesome thing. That is so cool.
that is crazy cool. Thank you so much, Cliff and Sarah. Wow, I don't know what to say. That's the most
Wow.
unexpected thing ever. And we're seeing them in a few months, aren't we?
Yeah.
Your tenant, Chris Lowe.
This is going to be the beginning of a collection.
Well, I might collect band ones of other bands I'm into, but I don't know who they've done.
I don't know. I didn't know they'd done the Pet Shop
I mean,
Boys.
getting into Funko Pops is a crazy problem because there's thousands of them, isn't there? From what I know. Well, that says 190 on it.
Pop Rocks. That's what they're called.
Oh, so maybe there's 190 of the pop ones.
Yeah. Pop Rocks.
I might be having a look, see if there's any Depeche Mode ones out there. That's so cool.
Wow, thank you.
Don't know what to say. And then you had a surprise little gift. And
Oh, I
had
did.
something else.
Yeah. Shall I go first, or do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay. I've now spilt my coffee on it. Sorry. But I had a little packet which was signed anonymous, which I've spilled coffee on now. I'm sorry. Of seeds. So I've got some nasturtium. Is that how you pronounce that? Which can be used in salads. I've got some sunflowers, which is lovely because I like some sunflowers. And
what, do you eat these?
Apparently you can. And they're stuck together, but hopefully they'll be all right inside. And I've got some chives and some lemon balm as well. Yeah, I think it's because I'm not sure, but I think it might be because last week we said we weren't gardeners. So thank you, whoever you are. It was a very, very kind thought and I appreciate it, but don't expect lots from me because yeah.
We will plant them and they will grow.
I've grown sunflowers before. I mean, they're fairly, straightforward, aren't they? But yeah. Well, I wasn't kidding when I said that, and I'm of an age now. Please don't be sending me anyone else get ideas to send me plants and things to grow, because I'm of an age now where I've kind of accepted I just don't do well with growing things. It's not my strength, and I'm all right with that. I'm all right with it.
But we'll have a go.
We'll have a go, and I'm going to, out of all of those, mostly enjoy the sunflowers because they're one of my favourite flowers. I love sunflowers. So
we've got to find a sunny spot in the garden for them,
yes, though. That could be
and it's quite shaded.
That is the trouble with our garden. We don't get a lot of sun in it.
It's more of a yard out the back of what was a pub, but there is a corner where there's quite a bit of sun. Yeah. So Limelight Vinci was saying there are queen ones. That would be a cool set, wouldn't it? I'm not really a queen fan though.
Is there a Nick Berry one?
They can go into your shrine. Now, we've discussed this, Cliff. It's not a shrine. And it's not really Pet Shop Boys stuff in there either. But yes, they might end up on those shelves, to be honest. There are no DM.
The obvious place for them to go. Oh no, they need to make DM ones.
Maybe they will, because their new album, new tour, Nick Berry one, yeah. Good evening, Kathy. Right, what's Stephen saying quickly? I ain't sold anything in 6 months. Wow. I was in Asda the other day and saw 4 Casio calculators at £3 clearance, sold 3 of them for £33 within an hour. That's the way to do it.
Oh, okay.
Got the listing bug again.
Yeah.
I went through a stage when I collected a couple of 100 Funkos, but decided to sell up. I got silly money for the Breaking Bad ones.
Ah,
I would
yeah.
have no clue which ones were worth money. I've never really dabbled in it. I think I bought and sold a
Yeah.
few from yard sale things, but
Yeah, most of them are very run of the mill, aren't they? That we see.
I had some Magic the Gathering ones, didn't I, at one point? And didn't make a lot on them. They sold,
No.
but right. Okay, let's get to the end of the chat again. The nasturtiums are really nice and spread very
Oh,
well.
okay. Thank you, Sharon. All right.
Take the seeds out of the packets in case they're not in an inner packet, suggests Susan.
Okay.
Deb says they do. Depeche Mode ones. All right. Well, put it on my Christmas list now. But see, if I have more than 2, it'll be a collection, and then it's trouble.
I know. Look where you started, Cliff.
See, yeah, they are edible.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
Susan says it's definitely a shrine.
Yeah, but take everything Susan says with a big pinch of salt. Hi, Susan. Right. Okay. Let's quickly read this one and we'll move on. Andrea, you've inspired me to branch out into reselling pottery/crockery and got my hands on a haul of Staffordshire Cornish blue today.
Ooh, nice.
Any tips on listing lots versus individuals?
I've done a bit of both, really. I mean, I think you just have to take it as it, just try and decide. I don't think there's a right or a wrong, just decide at the time. Because sometimes I've sold like a lot of things, I've broken it up, not broken it literally, but split it up and done it sort of as replacements. Sometimes I do like a lot of plates, a lot of mugs.
I think a lot of it depends on the demand.
Yeah, exactly.
Some stuff that's really sought after, you can sell individual ones very quickly and easily.
Yeah, and I think it really depends on what it is. So just do the research and just go with your instinct really on it.
I would suggest a big lot like that, if it's all the same thing, there'll be a few items in there that are more valuable and worth splitting out.
Yeah.
And then maybe doing sets of plates or cups and saucers. But it's all about research, I would suggest.
Yes,
but you tend to do all of that, so I don't really deal with listing the crockery. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and there have been times where I'm really torn between the two. Do I do this as a bundle or do I do this singularly? But just try it. Just go with your gut on it.
Have you ever thought of investing in Lego Star Wars? There's a huge market. I have bought and sold Star Wars Lego many, many, many times. I don't do the buy sealed stuff and put it away as an investment, if that's what you're talking about. It's not really my sort of thing. But buying Star Wars Lego, yes. Whenever I see it, I try to snap it up. Hey, Pete, was in London on Friday. Yes. Outernet, does that say? Venue in Leicester Square.
Oh, that's where Ellen is tonight.
Is she there?
She's there seeing Half Alive.
Oh, she met the band, didn't she?
Yeah, she met them earlier.
Leicester Square saw Cody Frost as Everything Unfolds and Enter Shikari. Saw Danny Jones and McFly as was at the gig. That's cool. A few vids to come on my YouTube channel. Excellent. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so I need to say a quick shout out to Sophie. You may remember Sophie came on and had a chat when I was doing those chats with Derek and Pete. And she started a YouTube channel and she messaged me to say, did you know that Depeche Mode were on the cover of Mojo magazine with a CD with rarities on it? I said, I do know that. And whenever I pop in a shop, they've always sold out. I couldn't find any around here. So bless her, she bought one and sent it to me. So I need to say thank you to Sophie. I don't know if she's in. I have messaged already to say thank you, but hopefully she's watching or will watch back.
All I can say is a good job that it was on that side of the table.
Oh, I'd have been livid.
I would not have ever been forgiven.
Yeah. It's a really good article, actually. I've already read it twice. Haven't listened to the CD yet. I have a lot of this, but not all of it. So yeah, people are amazing sometimes. I just noticed, who was it? Somebody was saying that their books turned up. Who is it? Amanda. There you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, hopefully everyone has received their auction stuff. Cheers, Nick, on the Spidey Bakugan tip. Sold it for 42. Well done. Nice one.
I think I read on. See how much you paid for it.
Oh, just quickly, Cliff's saying, I didn't know they did Pet Shop Boys Funko Pops until I saw them on Shed Flips. Oh, Lonnie. Okay.
Oh.
Channel, and then came across them a few days later and knew who would like them. Well, thank you so much, Cliff. You are way too kind to me. Oh, there we go. Not bad seeing I paid 10p for it. Yeah, I think I got 50 for mine, and I bought it in a bundle of them, so it owed me about 50p or something. So similar sort of markup.
Brilliant. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Heather. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Kevin, base plates always tend to sell quick. They do well if you bundle them up as well. If you get the road base plates and do a bundle, they can fetch some really good money. Right, so hopefully you've seen the video of this. The coins have gone. I won't share how much I got out of it in case you haven't seen the video, and I will spoil the jeopardy. But we didn't get rich. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know if we ever expected to for that, did we?
So I think we've decided we're gonna sell him off probably in the next auction.
We realised that the next second Sunday is Easter Sunday.
I'm not sure that's a problem.
Well, we may be travelling home at that point. It depends whether we can. Well, it depends if we're going to see family or not. I don't know. But we might end up doing it on the Monday instead.
We'll have to see.
Potentially.
We'll
play it by ear and see what happens.
So what was I saying earlier? Oh yeah, we went to Norwich, primarily to hunt for a new phone, which I found and bought. But we popped in a charity shop, and I was drawn to a box on a table that had a load of Wii stuff in it. So it looked like somebody had just donated it. I think it had just been put out. There was no console, but I snapped up a load of official Wii wheels. They're the Nintendo ones at £1 each. I bought 4 of those at £1 each. I like to bundle those with Mario Kart, and then you can ask. With 4 wheels, I think you can get about £30 these days. So yeah, there's 4 of those. Nice to find them all at once, all in the same place. All the official ones, and they had loads, like a silly amount of nunchucks. Again, all the official. I never buy these if they're not the officials. These do not have much money, but I bought 6 at £1 each. I have seen people getting a tenner on 2. I might bundle 4 together and then do a pair as well. Anyway, all really nice condition, all the official stuff.
Wow, Flippy Maggie's spending Easter in Bermuda. Oh, that's nice.
Wow. And then I went to go and buy them, and I hadn't even clocked the box on the floor full of Wii games and a little sign on it. I think did I put it on Instagram? I thought I shared it somewhere. Anyway, so I quickly rummaged, and the first thing I spotted was Mario Kart on the Wii. Now, I haven't found this for a long time, let alone in a charity shop, and let alone for 50p. Bargain. So now I've got Mario Kart and 4 wheels, which I will list for 25, 30 quid, I would imagine. No manual, but it's not a deal breaker on that one. I think some of these need a bit of a polish. Yeah. It will need a clean, but that would just take me a couple of minutes in my JFJ machine, get it back to new. So that was nice. The rest were not amazing. Mario Strikers Charged, that's the Mario football game. I think it's only worth a £5 or so. Peppa Pig is similar sort of money, I think. Just Dance isn't great. I tend to do 2 or 3 of these together to make it worth fiddling about with. And Beatles Rock Band I can put with that guitar. Annoyingly, I didn't get, there was a Guitar Hero one in there. Do you know I got that guitar recently?
Yeah.
But it was so scratched, I'm not even sure it was salvageable. It was really bad. So yeah, that wasn't bad. Somebody was asking which charity shop. Now, what was it? Was it
something to do with veterans?
Veterans one, yeah. On the kind of main drag that goes through. We don't know Norwich well enough to know the street names yet. Up near Poundland is on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
That one.
So we were heading on up to CEX, weren't we?
Yeah, not far from CEX, that one.
Right. And I just saw that Susan said that she has received the paints. That's good.
Excuse me. The paint. Oh, from the auction. Fabulous. Excellent.
Yeah. Once Love Treasure says that Peppa Pig game really doesn't bring home the bacon.
No, it's not amazing. Yes, I have. We Just Danced before, sold a lot of them. Sold loads over the years. I remember when it first came out, when we still had a high street gaming shop and we used to do new software, and that game sold so much. We couldn't get hold of it from Ubisoft. Do you remember? It was like selling out everywhere, to the point where it was going for silly money on Amazon, because Amazon had sold out. So I was buying it in Argos. That was one of those titles I was able to buy in Argos and flip on Amazon for profit. Crazy times. Don't know when that was, like 2008, something like that.
Yeah, so Stephen Street. Yeah, I think it might have been. Veterans at Ease. Yes. That's the one.
St. Stephen's. Veterans at Ease. That's it. Yes. What's this? I'm boycotting all Oxfam shops after them telling staff not to use the word woman.
Let's not get into that discussion.
What's wrong with the word woman?
Well, let's not get into that discussion.
No, okay.
There are lots of different.
We're going to gloss over that.
Thoughts and differing ideas about it.
Do we have anything else to share? Oh, yeah. I've been sniping on eBay, which I do for myself, as in to buy stuff. But all of this is to resell. I've mentioned this many times, but I like to buy collections when they're the right price to sell on. So this was one lot. It is somebody's Depeche Mode singles collection. Well, there's a few albums in here as well. I paid what's going to sound like a lot of money for a box of CDs. I paid £65 for that. But I roughly worked out it's going to bring me back between 200 and 250. So you can see why it's worth doing. But you have to know your stuff. For example, this in your room is the complete set with the other two. This folds out into a triple pack. And then you have these two that make up the set. That set alone goes for up to £50. And it's in really nice condition, which is what it's all about. And there's almost a complete Songs of Faith and Devotion singles collection that I may yet do a bundle with it. These are all the singles from that amazing 1993 album. Walking in My Shoes, possibly my favourite song of all time. And the limited edition version, I Feel You, and the limited edition. You get the idea. So, I mean, if I did those as a bundle, that's probably 40 quid, maybe 30, 40 quid.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on and on. There's some really nice stuff. I'm just going to
reply to Michelle here. She says, I want to buy returned end-of-line liquidation stock. Can you advise where not to buy from or where to buy? I think the answer is not really, because
it's not something we do.
It was somebody that approached you, wasn't it?
Oh, if you're talking about my haul, that's not returns. Yeah. It's not returns. It is liquidation stock. But the contact I have, yeah, it's somebody that I know and I've built up a relationship with for years, and I'm not sharing that as a contact. Yeah,
But
it's
in
hard.
terms of advising on where not to or where to go, it's really difficult because it's like you say, your contacted you a while ago, so
it takes time to build up people you can trust as well, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's something that just happened, isn't it? It's not something that we were seeking out. So
there's a classic. Enjoy the Silence. There's 3 CD singles of this. This is the commonest one, but even that's worth about 10 quid. You can get on that in good condition. Never Let Me Down Again. Don't know if that one has great value. Maybe a tenner at tops. And
but it's been featured on The Last of Us.
It has.
So
this has had a bit of a resurgence.
It may be going up in value. I don't know.
Yeah, they were talking about that on Jonathan Ross, weren't they? Were they talking about? No, I saw an interview with the band talking about this being on The Last of Us.
Yes, but I think the guy from The Last of Us was on Graham Norton, actually, wasn't he? And he was talking about it as well. I can't remember his name.
No, we were watching the young actress.
Yeah, but the couple of it's either last week or the week before. He was on okay, so I mixed up between the two of them. Graham Norton. Anyway, I just highlighted Daniel saying next Saturday I have a give and take day near me, like a jumble sale, but all free. And I made £30 on 2 sales from it.
A give and take day. That sounds like a fun thing. Like a jumble sale, but all free.
It's a bit like a swap thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So do you have to take stuff to?
Yeah, well, with clothes swaps, it's
like a bring and buy sale.
Yeah. You with clothes swaps, you basically bring a certain amount of stuff, you get some credit for what you bought, and then you can take the, equal amount of what you've bought. So I don't know if it's like that. But yeah. So
there was also a load of these reissue versions which come in little boxes, little box sets, and the later ones. It's weird with this set. The later ones are worth the money. The earlier ones, not so much, because they were issued in much bigger numbers. But some really nice ones in here. Question of Lust, very, very good song. Question of Time. This has got one of my other favourite songs of all time in it. Somebody. B-side to Blasphemous Rumours. But yeah, I could go on and on and on about this, but yeah.
George says, I'm a little behind. Hang on a minute, I missed it. There we go. I'm a little bit behind, but the nasturtiums are a little spicy, but they taste quite nice.
Ooh.
I wonder if I don't know, they may be a bit peppery in their taste, a bit like rocket or something like that.
And then there is one in here that is a bootleg. And it's very hit and miss whether you can, can't, shouldn't sell bootlegs. As in, it's an unofficial, it's not issued by Mute, but there's plenty all over eBay. And particularly for Depeche Mode, they do really well. So I couldn't even find this. It's a live album. Couldn't even find any record of it apart from on Discogs. And on Discogs, they say you can't sell it on there because it's a bootleg. But we'll see. I'm going to list it and see how we get on. I think I'm going to do it on auction because it's just an unknown quantity. So that one, I don't know, I would guess 20, 30 quid, something like that. So there we go. That'll keep me happy. Oops.
Treasure Trove UK says, speaking of media, do you ever sell vinyl shellac LPs these days? Are old 1930s, 40s jazz ones worth anything? I've got a haul of those.
I don't know. I don't think we've ever dabbled in that, have we?
No.
They're the ones that are really brittle and shattered, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to just have a mooch around on eBay and see what sells. What was Greg saying there? I have noticed even small local charity shops putting ridiculous prices on vinyl. Wouldn't mind, but most are in a right state. Yeah, I've certainly seen vinyl priced reasonably, but then you look at it and it wouldn't even play. You know, it needs throwing in the bin. Sleeves all ripped or whatever, and yet it's still got a fiver on them. We were in a charity shop in Norwich yesterday, and they had a rail and little like clips, and they had hung every single vinyl album up. It was a really odd way of doing it. Right, because you enjoyed looking at those Depeche Mode CDs so much.
All right, so Daniel says you don't have to donate to take and vice versa. All you do is weigh the stuff at the end, showing how much is saved from landfill. Oh, okay, cool.
That's the coolest thing. I've never heard of that idea. So, in a similar vein, I bought this lot for, what did I, £30, I think this was. It was on auction. The other one was a buy it now, but I threw out an offer. This one was an auction. I think it was it just under 30 or it was about £30.
I can't remember.
But this one is Erasure. And it's all of that. There are two items in here that I am tempted to keep, but I'm not sure. Oh, there's one. So this is the reissue of I Say, which has the song on it Always that I now have the recording notes from. And this is the reissued expanded CD with B-sides and all sorts of other stuff. Tempted to keep that, but it is sealed, but that's not worth big money. But this one, surprisingly, is worth a bit more. It's
Do you intend to get that to keep and then you've changed your mind?
Probably, yeah. But the only stuff I don't, well, it's got the album on it and it's got B-sides and rarities. I have virtually all of this already because I have all the singles. And that sells for 20, 25 quid. So, meh, don't know. But the rest of it, I've already got everything. This is the triple edition of their best of, which holds its value. The regular version isn't much, but again, it's extra tracks, remixes and stuff. And then there's just cool stuff. The limited version of the hits with the extra DVD, isn't it? Or is it just, no, it's the Megamix, which I may keep yet and just get rid of my standard edition. Union Street's a bit of a rarity. Doesn't have big value, but I don't know, £7, something like that. Pop Remixed is a good one. It's getting harder and harder to find. Have I sent anyone to sleep yet?
I'll read out Evelyn's comment here. I've been watching you guys on and off for over 5 years since the sleepless nights when my youngest son was born. I've been a stay-at-home mum for 17 years now. I'm leaving there might be a part two.
Oh, I want to know what you're leaving.
Yes. Oh, I'm leaving the marriage and hoping I can make a small income reselling. Thank you for your inspiration for work and slow living. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but
yeah, I hope it all works out for you.
It does work out.
And thanks for supporting what we do. We really appreciate it. Yeah, I was just going to say, this is a nice one. This is a live album. Double live album. Total Pop 40. That holds a bit of value, not masses. And the rest of it, I will probably make a few bundles up out of all of the studio albums. I think.
Will says that shellac is pretty much unpostable because it shatters with the lightest of touches.
Well, that's a problem then, isn't it? If you're going to sell it online. Yeah, that would be an issue.
Yeah, it is, Susan. That which one?
Oh yes, Erasure's 95 self-titled album.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. I have the promo for that. I don't have an original copy of this on vinyl from 95. It's hard to find. One day. I was going to say, this is quite sad because clearly somebody's collected these and been a fan and then suddenly decided to sell it all. And they're in lovely, lovely condition. This is the remastered version of The Innocents' amazing album. You've got more recent, more obscure stuff. Yeah, so that was fun. There's nowhere near as much profit in this as the Depeche Mode bundle. but I will make some money and keep a couple of bits.
Oh, Sandra says, I bought an oil painting today. It's a granddad reading to his granddaughter. So much detail in their faces. She's holding a doll. Signed Daniel, is that Lang?
Yeah.
Look him up on the internet. He's died now. Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Well, so what sort of value do you think on that?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm asking Sandra.
We've not really done much with original works of art, have we?
You're Nick. Go pray at your shrine now. Oh, dear.
Well, you know, we haven't got much else to share. I could go and get my record collection. I've been adding stuff to it.
George says, evening both might not last the whole live as I'm off to Bristol at 5 a.m. Oh, my goodness. We both enjoy catching your stream every Sunday evening, though. Susan's gone to sleep.
You love it, really.
Kathy just woke herself up snoring.
I'll storm off in a huff in a minute.
Hello, Stephen. It says, it's an insight into what every night is like for Andrea in the Hills household.
It's not like I bring boxes of records into the living room and sit there looking at them in the evenings, is it? Hang on. Is that exactly what I do?
It's exactly what you do. I don't find it uninteresting because I'm obviously a music fan myself and I like Erasure and I like all the bands you like. Apart from Carter. I'm not too keen on Carter, but no.
No, that's true. Our music tastes overlap quite a lot, but when it gets to Carter, the Unstoppable Sex Machine, and just like, no,
thing.
I draw the line.
It's really not my thing. Sorry, Andrea. I know you're in the chat. It's just not my thing.
I love them.
Sandra says, not sure of the value on some paintings. It says view by appointment. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting one then. You have to keep us up to date on it, keep us informed. Yeah. I have to be very diplomatic. May I ask when HeroQuest is going up for sale? I may have put the figures in Dettol to strip the paint off and forgot. Oh, they do partially dissolve in it. Oh my goodness me.
I haven't had another look at that. It's upstairs in the office. I have got a load of stuff photographed, ready to go, other toys and games and stuff. So yeah, I should be getting onto lots and lots of used stuff, getting it listed over the next couple of weeks. We do have another load of stuff turning up soon from the same contact. I'm not sure when. We've gone on something that you'll see when it turns up. I'm not going to talk about what it is now. It's a bit more of a risk, I think, this one.
Yeah, not as much.
It's not as much stuff, but we've spent a lot of money. But it feels out of my comfort zone. The stuff you saw that's in the shed and it's selling day in, day out and has done really well for us, most of that was very low risk because we could see sales history. We could see in many cases the exact same products on Amazon and on eBay and see the level of demand. So that was a very well worked out. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet. No, I was able to research it. What we've just spent a fair amount of money on, we have no idea of sales history. It's more on we're going out on a limb on this one, is how it feels. But I feel like we're going to do okay.
I'm not going to read it out, but look at Stor's comment there. Oh, dear.
How does he know?
No. Yeah, I know. That's why I said I'm sorry, Andrea, but it's just not my thing.
That's the great thing about music. That is the wonderful, wonderful thing about music, though. There's something for everybody, and we're not all supposed to like it all. That's not how the world works. You know, I'm not a Celine Dion fan, but you know.
The one thing I do dislike more than anything is when people are music snobs. Like they turn their nose up at you because you like U2 or Coldplay or something, you know. It's the people that are deemed to be middle of the road or you know,
Yeah.
whatever. And I don't like that. I think that, you know, everybody should be allowed to like what they like.
Exactly.
And music is music at the end of the day. If it makes you happy, that's a good thing.
It makes me happy if somebody is enjoying music, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Just because it's not my taste, I don't have a problem with people being into whatever. Boyzone, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. I love the way the first one that comes into mind is Boyzone.
I don't know where that came from. I think it was because Ronan was on that show.
Oh yeah, he was on that.
What was he on?
Oh,
the one where they make
Superstar?
up 3 people to be the same singing star, and then they compete. Do you know the one I mean?
Yeah, it's on Saturday night.
It's sometimes cringeworthy, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Sometimes it's really good.
Sometimes. Mostly you just like the Robbie Williams one was no.
That week though, I cannot believe that Stevie Nicks did not win, because
I didn't see Stevie Nicks.
Both me and Ellen were absolutely blown away by it, and we just thought all 3 women were fantastic, and they didn't win. How did they not win?
I didn't see Stevie Nicks that time.
No, it was on last week when Ellen was here. We were probably doing something else. Lee's got a question for you there.
Oh, sorry. What is the most CD albums you have by one artist, Nick? I have 127 albums by Paul Anka. 127 albums? How has someone released that many albums?
It's been going a while. Perhaps some of them are compilations. I don't know.
It's a good question. It will almost certainly be Depeche Mode, because I have all of their studio albums, which is now what, 15? And then I have all of their live albums and several compilations, so it'll be 20 plus, but that's a fraction compared to, but I also own them on other formats, so that does multiply up a little bit. And I have every REM album, which is, what's that? That's a similar number, isn't it? 15, 16 REM albums plus a few live albums, and I have every Erasure album, which is a similar number again, and Pet Shop Boys. They're all similar sort of ballpark, 14, 15, 16 albums in their careers. Yeah.
Treasure Trove says, don't worry, Nick, I'm in the going through media in the living room in the evening camp. My partner also graciously puts up with it. I don't really put up with it. I don't mind, honestly. It doesn't bother me. You enjoy it. And like I say, I don't have any issue, but I love music. I love, I'm a fan, so it doesn't make any difference to me.
I only really have one collection now, and that is the vinyl, which is a recent thing. I got rid of all of my collections pretty much, and I used to have many collections. But I'm of the mind now that a collection is almost pointless unless you enjoy it. So I listen to it when I can, and I also go through it and look at it and enjoy it.
Starstruck, yes, that's what it is.
And because I bought some new pieces recently, I've been putting them into order in the record boxes. And it's nice when you get a new piece to put it with the other ones from that album, and it just feels nice when you get a new item and you slot it into your collection in the right place. Fills a gap.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. When I used to collect music, I used to feel the same way. I just don't anymore. No one seems to remember Peter Frampton these days. He always gets forgotten when chatting.
He's a very famous guitar player, isn't he? Frampton, is it Frampton Comes Alive or Frampton Alive? Is one of those like hailed guitar albums. I know who you mean.
I've heard of Peter Frampton.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, we watch a channel. What's his name? The music guy, Rick Beato. Yeah. He's a huge fan.
I haven't watched any of his for ages, actually.
Oh, I watched one the other night.
Right.
Yeah. Look up Rick Beato. Has an amazing music channel. He's a music. He knows music theory and stuff, and he delves into the construction of songs and the chords and all of that, which sounds really geeky, but it's fascinating. And the production, it's more about splitting apart a record and seeing how they produced it. And it has an amazing series. I think it's called What Makes This Song Great, where he dissects classic tracks. And we've watched loads of them. Yeah. One of my favorite channels, actually.
Yeah, it's a really good channel. Kevin Hodgson says it's got to be country music for me. I'm guessing that says for me. Johnny Cash, etc. Steve Smithers says, love a bit of James. Yeah, you like a bit of James.
I've been a James fan since Gold Mother came out in 91, I guess it was. And I saw them at, I think it was like the Town and Country Club up in London. When they were on the crest of the wave on the back of Sit Down and all of the hits off Gold Mother. And it was absolutely mental gig. That was back in the days where I would be in the middle of the mosh mayhem for the whole hour or whatever. Yeah, loved it.
Stephen says, I love it when people's enthusiasm is contagious for something that I wouldn't be interested in. Yeah. We're all different. We're all into different things.
Enthusiasm and passion is interesting in itself, isn't it? Watching people who are, fanatical about whatever is intriguing. Yeah.
Sharon loves a bit of Pink Floyd.
Oh, same. Yes. Yeah.
Paul Anka's been around since 1957. Goodness.
Wow. I must admit, I don't really know his music. I don't know that I've listened to any Paul Anka music.
Just scrolling down, lots of people saying hi to each other.
Yeah. Paul says there, I got a good buy today. 120 Blu-ray DVDs for £10.
Wow.
That's crazy, isn't it? That you can do that. And I mean, I pass up deals on media sometimes because it is getting that hard to make money on it. But I remember we were at Hatfield boot sale once and I picked out a load of DVDs. I think they were doing them 10 for £1. I think I picked out 20 or something. And the woman must have been 10 cardboard boxes full of Blu-rays and DVDs. And she said to me, you can have the whole lot for £10. And I almost immediately just went, done. But we would have filled the car and that would have been it for the day.
Yeah.
So I just left them, but it still sticks in my mind. I mean, I picked the cream, what I thought was the cream of it out.
It's like that day when we went to a jumble trail and you bought all those cassettes on like the first stall.
No, they were CDs.
Was it CD?
Classical CDs.
Oh yeah, it was. And we filled the mini and we hadn't even started yet.
That was
crazy.
You may remember that one. That was about 700, I think it was, classical CDs for 30 quid. And we made hundreds and hundreds out of that. Yeah.
Scale Studio says, not sure if anyone asked, but how are you all settling into the house area, etc.?
Well, we've made some friends. We met a lovely couple who lived just across the way. And I was chatting with him the other day out the front, and it evolved into the pub and what goes on in the pub, and then it got onto the fact that they have a quiz, but there's like a waiting list to get a table. Yeah, and he was like,
they
leave it with me.
They know the people.
Leave it with me. I'll have a word with. And so they got us in. So we've now got a pub quiz team with our friends over the road, and we went up with them. We came third. Wasn't bad.
I don't think it was bad at all.
Considering in one round, out of 10 questions, we got 1 point. That was the Bond round, and we're like, we don't really watch Bond.
Bond baddies.
Yeah, and there was 5 of us on the team.
Are you going to say what you did?
Yeah, I will. So this round comes up, and we're like, oh guys, we don't really do Bond. We're going to leave this to you, and they're like, not a clue. And everyone said the same. So we went, right. I said, I was doing the writing on the sheet. I said, do we know any? And we came up with Blofeld. So then Ron said, well, just put that for every answer and we'll get 1. So we did. And it was the last answer. Yeah. Question 10, the answer was Blofeld.
Yeah.
And we went, yes!
Erupted. It's hilarious. But I think most other people were struggling with that round, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're a big fan. I mean, there were a couple of other names we knew, like Jaws, the guy with the teeth.
Yeah, we did actually put him down for one of them where we tried to guess whereabouts he might have come.
Yeah.
we did put him in for one, but we got that wrong.
So So it was fun. So going back to your question, it all takes time, but we've been pleased to find like-minded people.
Yeah, and it's been really interesting because they've been in the village pretty much most of their lives, so they were able to tell us lots of history about, you know, what buildings used to be, who used to live here, what our house was used for, and apparently this part here, our dining room and kitchen, used to be a fish and chip shop.
Yeah, although she was saying that not a fish and chip shop as you would imagine it. I think it was more like sort of country kitchen,
right,
kind of thing. But yeah, they remember the post office as a post office, and they remember the postmaster and his wife.
They remember this being all one building, and apparently at one point it was the part that our neighbour lives in, where it's been split. That was the tea room.
The Dragon Tea Room.
Called the Dragon Tea Room. So now it's been divided up and it's a cottage in its own right. That's why it's now called.
But it was a tea room after it was divided.
It's after it was divided, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. So it's learning a bit of history about the building.
We've just sent them all to sleep about talking about our old uses of our house. If you get to the end of this, you need a prize. Look, did you see Top Load on Ant and Dec? We did. Wasn't that a surprise? It's fascinating to me when a band like that kind of goes out of your consciousness for a while, and then they suddenly appear and they look really old because he was all grey hair, didn't have the massive curly brown locks anymore. But he sang it well. Shame the people at home didn't know the lyrics.
Well, I'm not surprised, to be honest, because everybody knows the chorus, don't they? But do any of us really sing the verses? You know, we've heard that song so many times, but it's one of those songs where everybody just joins in with the chorus. You know, you think you know the words to it.
I knew them. And that's not even their song, is it? That's a cover.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I never knew that.
I'm sure that's a cover. Dancing in the Moonlight, isn't it? Da, 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 da. Yeah. I'm sure it's a cover.
Do you listen to Wet, Wet, Wet? I don't mind Wet, 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 actually.
We saw them.
We did. It's a shame Marty Pellow's not in it anymore, but they were good.
We saw them at Rewind. They were a headline for one of the days. It's like a weekend festival. And it was a really good show. Again, not a band I'm actively a fan of, but they put on a cracking show. And it was, as Andrea said, after Marty Pellow had long gone, but they got in the singer from Liberty X, which sounds weird, and it was, but he was so good.
Well, he won The Voice, didn't he, a few years back?
Yeah. So do we listen to them? We saw them live and enjoyed it.
I was really skeptical because I was like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy it without Marty Pellow. But actually, he was really good. Yeah. Yeah.
And they really, really got the crowd going, which is what you want at a gig. I remember my memories of Wet, Wet, Wet were their first album, Popped In, Sold Out, I think it was called. Yeah. Sweet Little Mystery was 87. Those first few singles, when they were kids, basically.
Wishing I Was Lucky.
Wishing I Was Lucky. Yeah. That's for me their best time.
Yeah. For me too. But yeah.
It all got a bit stodgy when they were number one for like 13 weeks with Love's All Around. Was that?
And then was it Good Night Girl?
Good Night. Oh, was that it?
Is that what it's called? They were number one for a while with that, I think, as well. I think so. Greg says, Thin Lizzy for me. Phil Lynott was just so cool.
He so was.
Oh, did he? Yeah, he has written a lot of songs you wouldn't necessarily say. Lee, Paul Anka wrote My Way. Sorry, I was reading it and not answering it, and you hadn't clicked on it.
Jack Savoretti, yes.
Yeah.
This is the great thing about music. Everybody has.
Scout Studio says David Lee Roth, Cinderella, Motley Crue, so all the hair metal. David Lee Roth is doing a gig with Raw Machines coming up because they were rehearsing with him the other day. And talking to people who are looking a bit old these days, he doesn't have all his hair anymore either, and it's all grey. So it was like, whoa, you look a bit different.
Well, we still haven't, Andrea, that's more your kind of music.
Yeah.
Really, the kind of hair metal, the bordering heavy metal, that sort of thing, is oddly, you might think, more Andrea's thing.
You wouldn't expect it, would you?
And you've got tickets for Hollywood Vampires, which is a kind of collective, if you don't know. It's got Johnny Depp on guitar, and then there's
Alice Cooper.
Matt Sorum. No, not Matt Sorum anymore.
Sorum, he was in it, is not anymore.
Alice Cooper vocals. Oh, sorry, you said that.
Yeah, Steve Perry. And
so it's a collective, but they're touring.
Yeah.
And you're not sure whether Ellen's going to want to go with you or whether I'm going.
Yeah, I've got 2 tickets, so it depends who's going to throw themselves into the ring.
Because I'm not a fan, so I mean I might enjoy it. I don't know, but I don't know whether Ellen would enjoy it. Do you know who support is?
She's not sure she'd enjoy it either.
Do you know who support is?
No, not yet. I haven't.
Because that might swing it. If support's a band I'm into, it might be. We'll see. Where are they playing?
Wembley? No, maybe the O2.
Oh.
I've had those tickets since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And they've only just actually going to play now. So yeah, I can't remember. I'll need to look it up.
Odd Job, yeah. I think one of us mentioned Odd Job, but we didn't put him down.
He didn't come up either.
He wasn't an answer. DVDs Region 1 can sell for good money if you can find some. Interesting. This is way more interesting than the DM CDs. Whatever. Yeah, Cliff saying there about selling media. I mean, Music Magpie didn't help, but the price of media, the demand was coming down. There's too much supply and not enough demand. So, but yeah, the likes of Music Magpie haven't helped, shall we say, Cliff, because they're happy to sell a CD for £1.25 delivered. When if I sold a CD for £1.25 delivered, I would lose money on it.
Some advice here from Scale Studio.
Yeah, I'll ring her when we're done. Oh, speaking of which, we will get to the end of the chat and we will start wrapping up.
Now, why does that not surprise me? Susan loved Liberty X.
This is what I was saying, horses for courses, and Susan's got Liberty X. There you go. But do I complain? Do I moan at you about your choices?
Does Susan have a shrine to Liberty X?
What's that got to do with anything? And she probably has.
I think you've probably got a shrine to Take That, haven't you, Susan?
Oh, Take That and Liberty X.
Just wouldn't admit it.
Oh, right. Should we try and answer that?
Oh, if you both had one gig you wish you could have been at, Prince.
Oh, one gig
I wish I'd seen
wish
Prince
you could have been
live.
at.
No, actually, that's difficult. I see Prince, I said immediately, but I also never saw George Michael live, and I wish I had.
Oh yeah, I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, mine isn't even a dead act. I would have loved to have been at the Pasadena Rose Bowl for the recording of 101, which is Depeche Mode's famous final gig on the Music for the Masses tour. And they sold out the Pasadena Rose Bowl, which not many people have achieved. And it was kind of the pinnacle of them for that period. And it's gone down in history because they made a movie of it and they made a live album of it, both incredibly successful in themselves. And just to be there would have been epic.
But yeah, talking about gigs as such, I missed out on the Bad tour. Tried really hard to get tickets. They sold out in a flash. And then a lot of my family went and didn't invite me. So I've never got over that.
You've never let it go.
A bit gutting about that. But yeah.
Here we go. Porky's has the facts. Look, from Wikipedia, Dancing in the Moonlight is a song written by Sherman Kelly, originally recorded in 1970 by Kelly's band Boffalongo. Boffalongo, is that? And then a hit single by King Harvest in 1972. Not even the first time it's been covered then.
Right.
Oh, and then Pete's got it there as well. Thanks, Pete.
I remember being at Reading with a group of friends to see The Cure.
Oh,
Robert Smith suddenly looked old, and the kids in the crowd didn't have a clue. I think we all aged that day. Yeah, I think it's when it's sudden, isn't it? When you haven't seen someone for a while, and then you go, "Oh wow!"
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, of course, we all age.
He filled out with age. But we watched a Cure performance. I feel like it was Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it because I think mentally I was going into it with low expectations. I don't know why. And then I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I love The Cure. Disintegration is easily a top 10 album of all time for me.
Ronnie says, talking of old, I saw Led Zeppelin live in 1970.
Wow. Now that would be something.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Can you imagine
something?
Seeing Led Zeppelin at their prime, or Pink Floyd at their prime in the 70s? That would have been something. Seeing the Beatles? Imagine that.
Yeah, your mum and dad did, and they didn't pay much attention.
Well, they weren't even famous. They were just traveling. Yeah, they were just the act that was on whilst they danced. Yeah.
Phil says, most obscure album I bought was Funko Metal Carpet Ride by the Electric Boys in 1989. Their song Psychedelic Eyes was a blinder. Still listen to it. Wow.
Never heard of that.
Cool.
Excellent.
Kevin's into a bit of Kenny Rogers. He is good, actually.
Islands in the stream. That is what we are.
Will says, what do we think of this year's Glastonbury lineup? I only know that Guns N' Roses are headlining. Can't think who else is. Oh, Elton John. Yeah, Elton John's going to be good.
Oh, I've not heard
He's
it.
closing Sunday. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Guns N' Roses, but I think they're not. I think they're a bit past the best, to be honest. But I'm still a massive fan of Duff and Slash, so I will watch.
I'm not a fan of Axl Rose. There you go, put it out there. I was a fan of Guns N' Roses back in the day, and I had Appetite for Destruction on cassette when it came out. But yeah, I don't like Axl's attitude to many things.
No.
He thinks he's king of the world.
Yeah, I think he realised, though, that his attempt to go out solo as just Guns N' Roses on his own didn't quite hit the mark, which is why he got Duff and Slash back.
Okay, let's try and get to the end. Bee Gees, Cranberries. I saw the Cranberries in 1995 when they toured No Need to Argue, their second album. And sadly, it wasn't a great gig. I think Dolores was having a bit of an off day.
That is a shame.
She wasn't feeling it.
It makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Totally. Well, we saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was like they were all having an off day.
Yeah, apart from Flea, who tried really, really hard to kind of get the crowd going, and he was the only one that was talking.
I swear Anthony Kiedis just wanted to be in the pub or something. He was just like, you know.
I doubt it. He's been sober for
whatever.
Yeah.
He wanted to be somewhere else.
He wanted to be somewhere else. He wasn't present with us. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses in their prime. Guns N' Roses sort of
Definitely.
circa 1990, right? Can you imagine? Around Use Your Illusion period. That I would have paid good money to see.
Yeah. Oh, Lee saw George Michael 16 years ago. Yeah, I bet. Wow.
We watched, did you say? We watched a documentary, didn't we, recently?
I didn't say no.
Oh.
The Channel 4 thing, they did in 2 parts.
Worth watching. Okay, we're at the end. Zombie. Agreed. Look, me and Susan agreeing on stuff. You know,
it does happen every now and then.
Some songs take you to a precise moment in time. Zombie, still to this day, when that big heavy intro starts, I'm in the car with my mum going to Stevenage Town Centre shopping in 1995.
Yeah, it is a great song. It's a really good song.
OMD. Oh, we saw them as well, didn't we?
We
Headline
did, yeah.
Rewind. Amazing.
They were also on the 101 concert bills.
Yeah,
of
that's
wax.
true. That is very true. Yes. All those 50p's that guy said. I think there's loads of 50p's. I'm like, no, we'll buy it anyway, but no.
Yeah. Belinda's first gig was Madness in 81.
What a cool first gig that is.
Very cool.
I saw Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Rainbow, Ian Gillan Band, I don't know them, UFO, Judas Priest, Girls' School, Queen. Wow, in the early 80s.
Yeah.
That's quite a roster there.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi,
I've seen them once at Wembley. Yeah.
Yeah. Charlatans. I've seen Charlatans twice. I saw the Charlatans in the Royal Albert Hall, same venue I saw Cranberries. I think I might have said this before. We had partook in things maybe we shouldn't. I don't remember any of the gig, sadly.
It's a shame, isn't it?
But I was told it was really good. And I also saw the Charlatans at the height of the Manchester scene. They got this really weird lineup together. Happy Monday, Charlatans, I think in Spirals were there, and a few others at Wembley. That was just so messy, though. We were drinking most of the day, and then throughout the whole gig, I don't remember much of that either. But if you remember it, you weren't there. Is there a song that brings tears to your eyes on hearing always?
Yeah. It's probably more than one, to be honest. But it's usually Thank You for the Music, because that was my granddad's song and what he left the planet on. So yeah, that always makes me tear up.
Yeah, for me, there's a couple of tracks on REM's Automatic for the People that set me off, just because it was a really tough time in my life and I was obsessed with that album at that moment. It takes me straight back, and it's never changed. It's never got any less powerful. It's really odd, that.
Oh, The Cure are going to be back at Glastonbury.
Oh,
I didn't know.
Right. Pete says, I got on the guest list on a Motorhead gig in Bradford and got backstage afterwards. So great guys. Imagine that. Imagine sharing a beer with Lemmy.
Awesome.
My boyfriend at the time got tickets for what ended up being Queen's last tour. He rang me to tell me. He said that he didn't know if I wanted a ticket, so he didn't get me one. Oh,
that's gutting.
So last tour with Freddie, I'm assuming you're meaning there. Must be. Right. I'm sorry, I'm missing loads of interesting chat, but we're going to have to wrap up shortly. Cliff's agreeing about Axl is one who hasn't aged well. I want to see Tears for Fears. Well, we'd love to see Tears for Fears as well. But they keep cancelling their gigs. Yeah, they have
done, haven't they?
Yeah, illness and COVID and all sorts have got in the way.
Yeah.
Hello, Jonathan. Good to see you. Saw Guns N' Roses in the summer. Hour and a half late to the stage.
Oh, they're still at it then. Oh my God, do you think they'd learn by now?
Axl is still at it. I guarantee it. Subpar performance, even from Slash. Axl gets Carrie Underwood to sing some songs for him. Really?
Carrie Underwood, of all people?
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Not a good advert for them, is it?
Oh dear.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are the worst band playing the Red Hot Chili Peppers I ever saw.
Wasn't just us then. We'd really like REM to make a comeback.
I never saw them, and they're a band that has been with me up until they sadly stopped recording and touring since I got into music, really.
Oh, Sharon agrees on the Prince. Maybe Prince or Bob Marley.
Prince or Bob Marley. God, yeah. Good evening, Sharon. Anyway, I'm trying to get to the end of this chat, and people just keep chatting. I'm never going to get there. Hey, Selena. Very lucky saw Madness Specials, Japan, David Bowie. Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
See Bowie.
Yeah.
I never saw. Yeah. First gig out of Ants when I was 14, 41 years ago.
Heather stood in the chat. She's a massive Adam and the Ants fan. There was a joke there from somebody who said, I nearly saw Bon Jovi, but I was only halfway there.
We're halfway there.
What somebody said about Madonna's Blonde Ambition? Oh, I saw Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour the night. Oh, see, that's another one I missed out on. And my best friend went. Gutted I couldn't go. But there we are.
I saw her did you only see her the time we went?
No, I saw the girly show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because we saw Confessions on a Dance Floor tour. And it was really good. And we both kind of agree that that's when her decline started, in our opinion.
Yeah.
In her song output.
We weren't really into what she did after that, particularly.
Yeah.
But I was always a massive Madonna fan, right from childhood. So, shame.
Oh, yes. Song that brings tears to my eyes is Drive by the Cast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's quite an emotive one for sure. Right, am I anywhere near the end of this? Only 2 gigs were Pink and Erasure. Nice 2 gigs.
Yeah. Pink's meant to be amazing live.
Good shout, Will. Love that.
Yeah,
Love Near World Heaven. So it's not a song many people highlight from REM, but it is one of my favorites. Yeah. I think my favorite song by REM is Leave. Most people don't even know it. I don't think that was even a single, was it? Amazing.
You're asking me? I don't know.
And World Leader, Pretend.
Yeah.
Drive. Don't get me started on REM. You will not stop me. Okay, are we at the end? Are we at the end?
Is REM the band you're going to collect next?
I don't want to start opening up that Pandora's box.
Phantom Dog Walker and Reseller says, managed to get tickets for Michael Jackson at This Is It tour. Yeah.
Shame. It was a shame. Okay, we are going to wrap up shortly. If you want to throw a few words of wisdom at us, we'll read a few out. That's how we like to wrap these up, end on a positive. Not that it wasn't a positive, it was quite a fun chat tonight.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned music and we
talking about music.
We didn't stop. Yeah. So
we're into words of wisdom here.
There we go.
Without your mum, you wouldn't be here today. Well, that is very true.
It's a fact you can't deny. Did we miss any? I don't think we missed any.
No,
there weren't any coming in, were there? Okay,
one.
right. Let's read a few out.
There's one from Sharon.
Oh,
now.
Quickly.
Oh.
Bebop Deluxe. Now, I know the name. I'm not sure I know the music.
You know what we need to discuss next week? If we start discussing it now, we'll be here until 10 o'clock. But I want to discuss with people what they think about this new 10 to the top instead of Popmaster. But don't talk about it now. We'll talk about it next week. Remind me, because we'll be here forever.
Can you read that one?
Sharon says, being a full-time mother is one of the highest salaried jobs since the payment is pure love. Ah, yes, absolutely. Phil says, everything in the universe has a rhythm. Everything dances. One who understands music will understand how the universe works.
I like Jack's comment there.
Oh, I went to a boot sale today and had my high-vis and trainers stolen. The thief can run, but he cannot hide. Janet Latham says, may the banister of life you go down have the splinters facing the other way.
I like it. Oh, that's
I know. Ouch.
Splinters in your ass.
Oh, thanks, Limelight Pinty. Thank you for the music. Oh, thank you, Richard. I shall look that out. Oh, here we go. Quick shameless plug. Talking of music, come on over to this tonight. Is this
Oh,
it's
it's that Neil.
Yeah.
We may just do that.
Never worry about who will be offended if you speak the truth. Worry about who will be misled, deceived, and destroyed if you don't. Wow, that's certainly a wow.
Yeah.
Do not judge by appearances. A rich heart may be under a poor coat. Oh wow! Thank you, Scale Studio.
These are good. Oh wow! Thank you so
you.
much. We appreciate it.
Happiness is not a station you arrive at, but a way of traveling. It is indeed.
Yeah.
Belinda says, everybody hurts, sometimes everybody cries. Yes. Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it's letting go.
Don't you lot get me started.
Don't overestimate the amount of coins in a piggy bank.
Well, yes, this is true. I thought I was being really conservative with my guess. And if you haven't watched that video, it is quite a laugh, so go and check it out. But a couple of people got it spot on. I think Leanne got it spot on. Yeah, clever.
If you keep filling a piggy bank, you'll become an old bore. Oh, Neil is poorly, apparently.
Oh, is he not? What was the link for then?
I don't know.
We're not sure. We're not sure what the link's for now.
Rob, is St. Patrick's Day big? Hang on, or just certain cities? I think generally across the UK it is pretty big.
It is pretty big in the UK. I think they do a lot more in the cities, to be honest. The bars all have themed nights and stuff. But it is, predictably, it is huge in Ireland. I had a message from Dermot, actually, wishing us happy St. Patrick's Day. So I sent the thought back. I don't know what they were doing out in the pub, I would hope.
Wee Piece of Genius says, my mum is a never-ending song in my heart of comfort. Oh, sorry, it's jumped. Hang on. Happiness and being. I may sometimes forget the words, but I always remember the tune.
Thanks, Rob, for the super chat, by the way. Hope you're well. I saw you. I saw
says
Rob.
Nem, as in Neil, is on tonight after this.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay.
I was going to say, I saw Krillin, as he used to be known. Briefly, you popped up on Andrew's chat just after I left, and you're all like sort of short hair and all.
Oh wow!
Yeah, took years off you, mate.
C. Blaney says we get a day off work for St. Patrick's Day in Northern Ireland. Oh no, he's cancelled apparently. Susan, yeah, stop the press. He's cancelled.
Oh, it's on. It's off. It's on. It's off. Oh.
So we need to choose one. I know which one I'm going to choose.
Well, you pick. Go for it.
It's quite far back. See if I can find it. This one from Limelight Vinty, because it strikes a chord with me.
Thank you for the music. Well, thank you all for joining us for whatever this was.
Isn't that Carla's tagline?
Something like that.
Welcome to whatever this is.
Whatever this is, yeah. We enjoy it. It's always a pleasure. We hope you enjoy it too. We will be back next week. That's
yeah, I think so.
When's the second Sunday thing?
That is on the second Sunday of April. I don't know.
That's the one that we think clashes with Easter, right?
Next Sunday is the 26th. So
okay.
Yeah.
It'll be a regular one.
We're all good.
Whether we have any stuff, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we're here. But don't forget to put your clocks forward next weekend, because British summertime begins.
Summertime?
That's what it's called, isn't it?
Summertime?
Yes.
I'll be happy with a little bit of sun and less freezing cold evenings.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be getting that. It'll be a bit warmer. We'll have more light and happy days.
We're just aimlessly waffling now. I mean, feel free to just leave if you like.
Still came for the jugs, but stayed for the media.
Right. We will be here next week. Maybe we'll have some stuff to share. Maybe we'll just do this again. Take care. Have a great week. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah. Have a good week,
We're done.
everyone. Bye.
Ta-ra.